So thank you for being here. I'm going to tell you the story of Plato. I'm going to tell you the story of how one conversation changed the history of Plato, and one conversation changed my life. So this was me 3 years ago. Didn't change that much. With my two co-founders, out of an engineering school, we decided to build our own company. We wanted to build something. We wanted to solve a problem. We wanted to do something that was meaningful. And we gathered a bunch of money in the bank. And we had 6 months of runway, so everything went fine. Enough time to build our first MVP, our first product. So we took a laptop, built a bunch of things. We had this idea of solving the problem of expense report, something we had when we were doing internship before. The problem of expense report, we built a Slack bot to solve your expense report. So you were just talking to the bot, uploading a receipt, and then we were taking care of the expense report. So that was innovative solution, big market, real problem. So we liked it, and we built this. And then we have a call from this guy. So Stuart Butterfield, the CEO of Slack. He was building kind of an app store for Slack bots. He was telling us that he loved what we were doing, and he wanted to fund our company. And then we have, the same day, I'm not kidding, a call from that guy, the CEO of Y Combinator. So he saw lunch, he saw what we launched, he saw the team, and he wanted to, so he told us, you should apply to YC. So he just wanted to fund a company, and that was great. So everything went great. We applied to YC. We've been taken to YC. We gathered a bunch of money from investors, from friends, from family, and from YC. Everything went well. We had a bit more money in the bank. We hired a bunch of people, a bunch of engineers, and went well. So here are they. Great engineers, like young though, but really great. They were helping us to find, to help us to build the next generation of interface with your business processes. So this was our vision. We wanted to build the next generation of business processes in Slack. So what does it mean? It means building a Slack bot for expense reports, right? A Slack bot for translations, for example, or whatever. A Slack bot for your business cards. So all of those. We built tens and tens of Slack bots for all your business processes. And we had a lot of traction. A lot of traction from tens of the Slack bots that we built. So everything went fine. So the perfect story of the Silicon Valley startup, right? We come from France, but we wanted to live this story, and we did. It was great. We have some institutional funding from French VCs, from Slack themselves, from American VCs. Everything went well. That was the perfect success story. So we raised some seed round, more money in the bank, and this is what we were supposed to have. Until that moment. Until the moment where all the developers of the company quit the same day. I don't think we were bad. I don't think we were bad people. I just think that we needed at the time some guidance. We neglected the most important part, the most important asset of your company, which is not money, which is not the vision, which is not the product, is the people. The people in your company is the most important asset that you can have, so keep them. And so that didn't happen that well. So with that burn rate, we have something like 12 years of runway. It was ridiculous. So we were the three of us with all that money in the bank. Like, we still have a decent salary, but we didn't know what to do with that money. So we turned out to our investors. Remember, we had investors, and we asked them, what do we do now with that money? We have this vision, but we are only three in the company, all the money in the bank. Every single one of them told us one advice: hire more. Hire more. Bring in some engineers. Bring in some salespeople. Bring in some designers. Bring in some product managers. And all of them were saying us that you should bring more people, hire more, so you have like 18 months of runway or something like that. That's like the model that they were used to. And that's exactly what we were about to do until the moment we had this conversation. The conversation with Michael Seibel, the CEO of Y Combinator. This changed the history of the company. This changed everything in my life. And was, hey, Michael, we have all this money in the bank. I think we should hire 20 people. So what do we do? How should we do it? And he told me, wait, let's step back. So you are going to invest all this money in something you quite don't understand yet. And he was telling us one piece of advice that resonated a lot. You're going to work 10 years in your startup. You need to find something, to build something that you care deeply about. Do you care about expense reports? Do you care about business cards? Do you care about translation? I don't care what you care about, right? But find something you really care about. And most of all, take your time. I don't care if you have 10 years of runway. I know plenty of startups, so that's Michael talking, not me. I know plenty of startups who would love to have 10 years of runway. So take your time, find your thing, and find what you really care deeply about. And that really resonated in us, the co-founders. We're asking ourselves, right, what do we really care about? What do we want to build? What impact do we want to have in that company? We decided to think about something new, and we came up with Plato. So Plato, we are on a mission to connect you with the right person who might have this meaningful conversation with you. Is it that person who is sitting next to you? Do you know their name? If you don't, maybe you should. Because they might be the person you are going to have a discussion that might be as impactful as I had with Michael Seibel at the time. It might be tonight, right? It might not, but you might have a discussion with them. And we are starting with a simple problem, not simple, but with a targeted problem, which is engineering management. Actually, we found it really hard when you're transitioning from an engineer to a manager, because engineering management, it's something which is the combination of two worlds. The structured world of coding and the messy world of people. And when you put that together, that is hard. We lost some developers. We neglected the most important part of a company. I do think that we could have been way better thanks to some guidance and some conversations that could have been impactful to us. So we decided to build this company. And we wanted to solve this problem thanks to people who would agree to have those conversations with you. So we talked to many of them, and we asked them, do you agree to spend your time every week to have meaningful conversation with people who you can help and to share your passion? So we had one mentor, and we had a second one, and we had a third one, and a few others, and more. And we figured out that many of them wanted to connect, wanted to gather, wanted to have those conversations that could have an impact in their life, in their career, in their team, in their company. And guess what? We have more and more. And today we have more than 200 engineering leaders in the community who can have talks and conversations with you every single week. So you might have this conversation tonight. You might have this conversation in the platform, in Plato, where you can meet with other engineering leaders. But meet that person whom you can have this meaningful conversation that can have an impact on your life. Thank you very much.